Hello everyone, this is Rio Cloud Sync. This is my first video on this channel. This is an introduction to what I will be doing on this channel in terms of Microsoft 365 as well as Microsoft Azure. Um, so an introduction to myself. My name's Rio. I'm a cloud solutions architect certified from both the Microsoft 365, Microsoft Azure, and cybersecurity perspective. Today we're going to be going through entry level multi-factor authentication as well as two-factor. You may hear both the pronouns MFA as well as 2FA. All you need to know, they are the same principle and utilize the same functionality. Okay, we're going to start off with the likes of security defaults. The first thing you need to know about security defaults, there are two other capabilities or capability sets you can utilize other than the use of Microsoft security defaults. Okay, you can use the likes of conditional access policies, which act on a more granular basis. Off the back of that, you can use per user multi-factor authentication. As per the name, it is per user, so you will decipher who has or who has to enforce into multi-factor authentication in terms of dual authentication. As well as the likes of conditional access. But both those tiers of security require premium licensing from an Azure Active Directory, Premium P1 and P2 perspective. If we're looking into the free tier of licensing, then security defaults would be the way to go in this aspect. So to start off with, in terms of a summary, because if you do sign up to a M365 tenant or a Microsoft Azure tenant, you need to understand that any tenant that was created on or after 22nd of October 2019, security defaults would be enabled for your tenancy automatically by design. This is being rolled out to any new tenancies as of that date. It's to improve general security posture as well as reduce exposure to threat actors and potential compromise. Okay. So, what is security defaults in essence? Security defaults is available to everyone. Um, is primarily there to make sure you're safe in terms of your environment and variables. Microsoft works off a zero trust approach. Okay, so it's not just securing your identities; it's securing your applications as well as your physical devices, like the likes of Windows Hello, for example. Okay, um, it will mitigate the likes of identity related attacks like password spray, replay, phishing attacks, which are very common in today's environment. Okay. More than 99.9% of these identity related attacks are stopped by using the likes of multi factor authentication, as well as by default, it does block the use of legacy authentication. So we're talking IMAP, POP, any of the legacy SMTP authentication. All these it does restrict by default. If you don't enroll in security defaults or you've opted out, then you would need to utilize the likes of conditional access to either restrict those legacy protocols. If you were not to utilize the likes of security defaults to block legacy protocols, then you could be in a situation where your tenancy could be compromised due to the lack of security oversight from a legacy perspective. Okay. The one big thing about security defaults, that there is no cost associated. It is free of cost. However, the granularity does lack in terms of who you can target and who you can exclude. It is near enough just an all-up enforcement across your estate for multi-factor authentication. So you do need to take into consideration the likes of service accounts, any legacy applications you do have on premise, which will require or don't have the leverage of utilizing OAuth 2.0 in that instance. Okay. Security defaults does make it easier to help protect your organization from these identity related attacks with some pre-configured security settings. Okay. So what it does in instance, it will register everyone for Azure AD multi-factor authentication, okay, as well as your privileged roles. We will get into whereabouts the setting for security defaults is in the portal. However, I thought it'd be good to just get a general consensus on what security defaults is, okay. It will require users, as I previously mentioned, to register for MFA. They do have 14 days upon sign-in to register for MFA, in essence. After such time, it will be enforced upon the user. So on the 15th day, when they do sign in, they will have to register. Otherwise, they won't be able to authenticate to the M365 services. It does block legacy authentication, as I've previously touched upon, as well as protect privileged activities like accessing the Azure portal, for example. So who is it for? Generally speaking, I'd say it's for more inclined for startup companies to the SMB space. If you're looking at enterprise, you're probably looking at utilizing the likes of conditional access as well as per user OFA, just for the granularity side of things, and the use of different authentication methods, such as the Authenticator app. But if you are, you've got a tight budget, or you're recently new to the M365 estate, then you may want to look into the likes of security defaults. So let's get to the big picture in terms of, okay, how do we enable this if it isn't already enabled? How do I turn it off if I am one of those larger enterprise companies and I need to opt into the likes of conditional access, for example? So what you do, you log into portal.azure.com into your address bar here. This will bring up the Microsoft Azure Management Portal. Okay. With this, licensing is not a factor. However, just bear in mind, if you do have the likes of a Business Premium upwards, you will have the likes of Azure Active Directory Premium P1. If you're opting into the E3, E5, etc., then P2, and you can utilize the likes of identity protection, which has user-based and risk-based access control policies, so that's always good. But in terms of security defaults, you access portal.azure.com. On the left hand side, you got your management pane down here. Once you've accessed Azure Active Directory, you should be able to access Azure Active Directory by just searching up here, Azure Active Directory. Once you're in there, it will take you to the page we're at now. Okay, so you scroll down the left hand side. This is obviously your identity management solution, Azure Active Directory. So you want to click Properties. This will bring up your all up org properties. So that'll be your company name, tenant ID, which is your unique identifier for the organization, as well as your primary contact name. Okay. And then with that, you'll press Manage Security Defaults. Okay. As you can see, this tenancy was created after 22nd of October 2019, of which security defaults is enabled on our behalf. However, if you do want to opt out of the security defaults, you can then press Disabled. It will ask you to give a business justification or some sort of justification of why you want to opt out. Of course, MFA is here to protect end customer estates. I've seen in my experience anyway, lots of organisations being compromised. So the utilisation of MFA is up there. You can see by the statistics on the screen here, 99% of account compromise could be stopped by using multi-factor authentication, as well as security teams see a drop of 80% of compromise rate when security defaults are enabled or is enabled. But yeah, when you do decipher, or if you do decipher to opt out of security defaults, please just select one of these recommendation actions below, of which one of them is conditional access per user, or an alternative OAuth 2.0 solution, such as RSA, for example. Okay. That was the summary for today. It was a quick one just regarding security defaults. I mean, if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me through the likes of YouTube or LinkedIn. Thank you very much.